Greetings. I was browsing the posts in a forum on Facebook, which is known as the Biblical Rumble Room, and I noticed that a couple different people had shared a new video from the We Woke Now channel titled Woke, Man Shares the Truth About His Lineage. Now, as a disclaimer, the gentleman who made the video, which is to say the gentleman who runs the We Woke Now channel, did not himself post this video to the Rumble Room, as he himself is not a participant in the Rumble Room.
Let me say this, brother Abu. I've been invited to jump in the Rumble Room. I'm not jumping in the Rumble Room. I'm just being real with you.
But as a couple other people apparently thought the video was a good one and shared it to the Rumble Room, it seemed worthwhile to check the video out. And as luck would have it, the video is a mere 26 seconds long. So if we wanted to watch the video in its entirety together right now, it honestly wouldn't take up too much of our time. So let's consider this video, as I think this might provide us with an opportunity to have a brief yet fun discussion about the basics of proper methodology. So here's the video.
There's only one true ethnic Jew, the MaseeHee Jew, because they are Africans, and if you read the original Bible written in Phoenician Hebrew, they're not. Jewish people are not Europeans. The modern Jews in Israel are Russians or Khazars to be precise, from Russia. I learned it from my grandfather that he was because he was an Ashkenazi Jew.
And that was it. There wasn't any actual argument presented there. Rather, it's just some random guy saying that he has an Ashkenazi grandfather and citing that grandfather as his source of information for all Jewish lineages across millennia. You know, personally, I think it could be helpful if we started with an agreed upon definition of Jew, which we could then use to measure the claims being made. You know, it wasn't even clear what definition the young man was working with, much less how he determined who did or did not fit that definition. But hey, he was saying something that people like, so maybe that was good enough. Now, in all fairness to our friend over at the We Woke Now channel, the good doctor did not explicitly present this video as some sort of serious argument, honestly, maybe he was just having a little fun, right? But it is worth noting that others seem to consider it to constitute a serious argument. For example, one gentleman who shared the video in the Rumble Room identified himself as a professional educator and then shared his view as a professional educator that this video is employing what's known as a primary source. You know, that young man recounting something which his grandpa might have said was employing a primary source on not only his own lineage across millennia, but so too the lineages of millions of other people across millennia. And you can see that comment, right there on your screen. The gentleman wrote the following, quote, "Last I checked, as a professional educator, a primary source is a valid source of research data. An Ashkenazi relaying historical data from his still-living grandfather who knows where his folk are from counts as a primary source," end quote. Now, I have to wonder, would this same standard apply if a person was saying the exact opposite and citing their anonymous grandfather as the source of that information? For example, imagine if the video went something like this. Shalom Aleichem, everybody. Quick public service announcement. I just want to say that all the Ashkenazim, their lineages go back to Yaakov Avinu, the patriarch Jacob in the Bible. And how do we know this? Because mein Zaidi hat mir gesagt. My Zaidi, my grandpa, he told me. So that settles it, doesn't it? That's it. Argument over, right? What do you know about research? Now, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and guess that there might not be as much insistence on that sort of statement employing a quote-unquote primary source, right? My guess is that we wouldn't be expected to take such a testimony too seriously. And look, while admittedly we're having a bit of fun here, in all seriousness, for anyone who felt that video should be taken seriously, let's put it this way. If the tacit rule being employed is an Ashkenazi grandpa is correct when he says something I like and is incorrect when he says something I don't like, if that's your rule of thumb, then honestly, you aren't really referencing that anonymous grandpa at that point. Rather, you're really just referencing your own presuppositions. And now, as a disclaimer, in case anyone wonders if this video, which you're currently watching right now, is intended as some sort of a defense of the position that most or even all Ashkenazim descend from the biblical Jacob, the answer is no, at least not if we mean, patrilineal descent. And some viewers should already be familiar with my position on that question, but for those who don't who aren't familiar with my position, feel free to ask me in the comment section and I'll share some relevant links and, maybe have a nuanced discussion with you. But if one is going to have a serious discussion on this sort of topic, they need to be clear on their definitions and their methods, right? I'd certainly be willing to discuss such with others, but for now, I'll just say that in the absence of clear definitions and coherent methodology, perhaps all one can do is shrug their shoulders when seeing these sorts of declarations. Food for thought. And on that note, I hope you found this brief video fun. I certainly had fun making it. And, as always, I look forward to, I welcome any comments or questions or even criticisms. I don't censor anyone here. So feel free to share your thoughts, whether positive or negative. And with that, I say God bless. Mein Zaidi hat mir gesagt. My Zaidi, my grandpa, he told me. So that settles it, doesn't it? That's it. Argument over, right? What do you know about research?